Hi there, I'm Bonita and welcome to this masterclass. Now, I know you've been on a lot of webinars or masterclasses before, but this one is going to be a little different. So I really want to respect your time today because I know time is so valuable. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to get started right away. And the name of this masterclass is The 5 Shifts to Find Intimacy in a Socially Distant World. And I wanted to start off with a really powerful question, which is, are we facing the end of love? Right? Is it still possible to find love in a socially distant world? And I'd have to say that the answer is a resounding yes. I mean, what I'm seeing right now is online dating is booming because we're feeling more isolated and we're feeling more vulnerable, right? And all of a sudden our lives have come to this complete halt, right? And we're going through this phase of self-reflection, and people want intimacy and they want an intimate connection with the right people. And what I'm also seeing is that more and more people are online right now than ever before, looking for a connection, because we want to escape the seriousness of what's going on right now. And for me, the other sort of critical and really great thing about this pandemic is that we're being forced to connect emotionally, right, online before we sort of connect physically. And when we take time to form that emotional connection first, that's where healthy, lasting relationships happen. So I want you to know it is entirely possible for you to find love in the midst of a pandemic, like my client Jenna, right? She's calling her relationship love in the time of coronavirus. So Jenna is in Australia, and she just says, don't ever give up the search. Your love life does not have to be on lockdown too. Your love life does not have to be on social distancing too, right? So who is this masterclass for? Well, firstly, you're single, right? You're successful and you excel in all areas of life except your love life. And you're struggling to understand, like, why I'm able to have every other area of my life figured out except this one area. You're also sick and tired of sucking at relationships, and you're like ready to get off that hamster wheel, right? And you're determined. You know that your birthright is, being in an intimate, loving connection, and you just haven't given up on love. You know it's out there for you. You're also the type of person that likes following a system. You like getting things done, right? And especially if you have a proven step-by-step system to follow. You also need to be sort of ready to allow love into your life in a really, really big way. And over the next 25 minutes or so, what I'm going to teach you in this webinar is the 5 shifts that you need to make so that you too can find love in a socially distant world. And I'm going to give you those exact steps. And it's going to change the way, you look at life and love and how we connect. So I just want to talk to you about why I'm here and why I get to host a webinar like this. So my name is Bonita and I am a love coach, right? And I've been working in this industry for 11 years, right? And I'm really passionate about helping, singles who are ready to get off that dating spinning cycle and find inner love and acceptance. For me, I know that for me, it was so hard to find a healthy, lasting relationship because of my stories and what I was telling myself about love. And in between two marriages, I had 10 years of really bad dating experiences, and I was able to shift it because I became really committed to figuring out why I was so successful in every other area of my life except love. And that's what I finally did. And so I teach my clients the strategies that I put in place, because let's face it, there's a lot of advice out there when it comes to relationships, but not all of them work. So I teach from what I know really works. And I have a proven system and a methodology that I've taken. Excuse the yawn. I have an 8-month-old that's busy teething, so I'm not bored. I'm just sort of tired, sleep deprived. But anyway, I have a system that I take people through, and it's been proven time and time again that it just really works and it gets the results, right? So is this masterclass for you? I wanted to make sure that you're in the right place. If none of this sounds like you, if none of this resonates with you, then you probably aren't supposed to be here. But do you know intellectually, like, I'm a great catch. I have so much to offer, but secretly there's that fear of, is this ever going to happen for me? Am I ever going to find that amazing person, right? Do you numb out with work, right? Taking care of everyone else, binge shopping, eating, drinking? Do you tell yourself, I'm too busy for love, right? Do you use coping mechanisms so as not to feel that loneliness that creeps in? Do you date people that you're not attracted to? I used to do that. Or maybe you have a sense that you're pushing away the ones that you are attracted to. Do you find yourself sort of settling for really bad dating situations and relationship situations, even though like, I would never accept that in every other area of my life, but for some reason we settle, right? And do you get frustrated, especially over the holidays, when people go, well, why are you still single? I hated that. I used to hate that. Maybe you worry about missing out on the entire point of life and thinking, is this going to be it for me? Okay. So I want to tell you that none of those things are the problem. The actual problem is that you haven't made these 5 shifts. And when you make these 5 shifts that I'm going to teach you about today, you're going to break free from those destructive relationship patterns once and for all. You're going to step into your authentic power, like exuding confidence, self-love, and joy. And guess what? People like that are just so much more attractive to be with. You're going to gracefully navigate each step of dating and relationships. When you make these 5 shifts, you'll also know exactly how to experience that deep, intimate connection, right? That just gets better and better and better every single day. Instead of forming that sort of connection that's strong in the beginning and then it fades over time, you're going to know how to create an intimate connection that grows stronger, right? And you're going to find out, like a lot of my clients say, but I don't have control over the situation, right? Because I'm not in control of the other person. And I just love proving them wrong and saying, you actually have control over your own environment, and you have control over your love life and what you will and won't accept. And when you step into that powerful place, that's when better things start happening for you, okay? When you make these 5 shifts I'm going to teach you about today, it doesn't just change your love life. And that's what I love about this work that I do. It changes every other area of your life too, right? So you're going to see that your relationships at work become better. Your relationships with your family become better. Your relationship with money improves. Like everything else shifts when you make these 5 shifts. Okay, so what are these shifts? Well, shift number 1 is to magnetize a quality partner with your physiology. Okay, you might ask, well, what is that? Okay, so attraction is not based on your looks, your age, or your weight. A lot of times, like, and that's what media and, has taught us attraction is. It's got nothing to do with that. Attraction is about yourself. Okay. And the reason why so much of the dating and relationship advice out there doesn't work is because it focuses on the other person. How can I attract them? How can I impress them? How can I be the perfect date? Say the perfect thing, right? When in fact, you need to focus on yourself, right? It's all about you. It's about stepping into your complete masculine energy or feminine energy. So respect your physiology. If you're female, it's about focusing on your femininity, right? Because here's the thing, we're captivated by that which we don't have. So if you're a guy, you're captivated by a complete feminine being. And the same with women, right? We love masculine men who take charge, get the job done. Like, we just love that, right? Even though it isn't necessarily our natural state, right? Because the world teaches us to adapt and change. But here's the thing. When you take the focus away from the other person and put that focus on yourself, that's where the dance of attraction happens, because attraction is based on sexual polarity, that push and pull, right? The feminine versus the masculine energy. Here's the good news. Your masculine or feminine energy, it's not going to change who you are, right? And you don't have to learn to be different from who you are, because both masculine and feminine energies are important, and we need to have both of them in life to survive. But in a romantic environment, you need to respect your physiology, and that's internally sourced. No one's going to teach you how to do that. You need to find it from within. I can teach you how to find it from within, but we're not going to fake it until we make it, right? And the reason why this has changed is because societal roles have changed, right? And it's confused this romantic dynamic. And so like a lot of my clients, especially the women, when they come to me, their masculine energy has gone into overdrive because they're running boardrooms and businesses and companies and households, being single moms, and they need that masculine energy to thrive, right? But your core essence, when you learn how to just connect into it, you find it internally, but it's expressed externally. And that's super, super, super attractive for the opposite sex. And when you understand how to connect with and how to release your physiology, what happens is it subconsciously awakens a partner's primal attraction triggers, and it inspires them to want to be with you. This is super, super powerful. Okay. So here's my client, Razan, and she was a divorced mom with 4 and running a really successful business, or running a single household with 4 young kids, super, super masculine energy. And she kept on choosing men who just didn't have their act together, right? So she came to me and I helped her. Instead of focusing on the men in her life, she focused on connecting with her feminine essence. And instead of trying to prove her worth, she allowed men to impress her. So that energy was internally focused. And she learned how to just lean back in that wonderful feminine energy and how to gracefully receive, right? And that's when her relationship patterns changed. She started meeting a very different quality guy, right? And as she stepped into her feminine power, she just exuded this natural confidence that was derived from within. Her friends noticed the difference, her children noticed the difference, and she met AJ online. Now, AJ lived 3 hours away from her, but guess what? He traveled to meet her for a first date, and today they are happily married and completely in love. And this is such a beautiful story. AJ also has 4 kids. So they're a bit like the Brady Bunch, this bunch, with 8 kids and 2 adults in the house. But they are so happy and it works, right? And she just received way more than she ever allowed herself to expect in life. And I'm so happy for Razan. So shift number 2 is to be the prize with your true authenticity. Now, this is really important, right? We sometimes think we need to be someone else and we need to prove, like we need to put our best foot forward. And here's the joke about it all is when we do that, when we try and be this perfectionist, we stop any sort of real connection of happening. And the best way to find healthy, lasting love is to just be the real, unmasked you at every single moment. And for some of us, this actually means learning, right? Or for the first time, learning about my amazingness, okay? Who I am and what I have to offer someone else in a relationship. But when you are the best possible version of self, what happens is you attract that into your life. And that's where everything changes, right? And it's always just about staying true to yourself, never changing, and accepting both the good and the bad, and allowing that other person to see that part of you, the good and the bad, because when you're not being a perfectionist and you're creating the safe place to be who I am, you're creating a place for that person to be themselves too. And that's where connection happens, right? So when you develop the strong identity of your authentic self, what happens is you approach love from a place of power and strength, because it's not about being perfect so that they will stay, right? It's about cultivating this unshakable relationship with yourself, accepting myself at every single level and being the prize. Because guess what? A prize can be won or a prize can be lost. So if you want to be with that prize, you need to bring your A game. So it's about challenging this person to also just be their true, authentic self. Okay? Being authentically true to yourself, it will inspire them to bring them A game and to claim you as their prize. And that's like being myself, the good and the bad, and loving myself, because nobody is perfect. Perfectionism kills chemistry, right? So this is Janine's story. She was like completely meeting non-committal men all the time. And, you know, she came to me and like, instead of doing whatever she possibly could to keep men interested, she also focused on herself, like building a life that she really, really loved, committing to herself and just creating this bond with herself, right? And when she accepted herself and loved herself at every level, that's when dating became easier, right? And she just stepped into this internally sourced self-worth. And when that happens, we meet that amazing person. So she met Rahul online as well. And she just stayed true to her authentic self throughout the process. And they're just so happy. I'm waiting for wedding bells right here, right? I'm just waiting for the day. They've been together. Right now, it's been more than 7 months. I think they're on a year by now. And she just said, thank you, Bonita, for helping me be more me so that he could see me too. That's where connection happens, right? Shift number 3 is to create an unshakable bond by being vulnerable. Now, my clients, right, know that, I mean, most of the times when I use the word vulnerability, most people cringe, like, because we think it's about being weak. But to be vulnerable really means you need to have the strength to be seen for who you really are. So vulnerability creates courage, right? It means that I'm being my authentic self without being attached to the outcome. Like whether this person accepts me or not, because that's where emotional intimacy occurs. When we show someone else the real me, the unmasked me. And the more vulnerable you are, the more connected you're going to be with someone, right? So vulnerability creates an unshakable emotional bond with someone else. It means having this courage, like allowing my deepest thoughts and emotions to shine through, irrespective of the outcome. Vulnerability breeds connection. This is so important, right? So here's Renee's story. She had never experienced a relationship of any kind, right? And she had the subconscious fear of opening up and letting anyone close because she was so afraid of being hurt. And she was sabotaging her interactions with men unknowingly. And I showed her what she was doing, right? And how not being vulnerable meant that she was never going to have that real, meaningful connection she was looking for. So we released a lot of childhood trauma. So I work with a psychotherapist in my program, super, super important. And she cleared those limiting beliefs that weren't serving her. She started making more conscious choices to be vulnerable, to let people in. And she finally met Terence offline. And because of their vulnerability, what happens? Their bond grew closer and closer, and they got engaged within 6 months of meeting. And they are married today, and they're so happy together. So she said, he's everything that I wanted and much, much more. Beautiful story. Okay, shift number 4. The slower you go, the faster you will get there. Now, I know that you are so sick and tired of not having what you want in your love life, but you need to let go of the outcome. You need to stop trying the outcome. You need to stop chasing it. When you meet someone, slow down. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The more time we take in the beginning to get to know someone, the more time we have for that emotional connection to grow stronger and stronger and stronger over time. Okay? You also want to practice revolving dating. So what singles do, the biggest mistake I see singles do that never works is we meet someone that we really like, right? So we're out there in the dating environment and we are like, then after we meet someone we really like, we are doing our best to sell a relationship to this person. When in fact, you should be dating and meeting many, 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 many people, not being physical with them, dating, okay? Because dating is two adults who are getting to know each other, right? And they know that this adult is also getting to know other adults. But you need to date many, 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 many people at the same time until such time that one person proves their worth to you by spending more time and investing more time in you. This is how people get hurt, right? We go on a couple of dates and then we focus on one person and we invest all our energy on this one person and we try and sell them a relationship. It never works, okay? You also need to stay committed to your identity and your personal growth in a relationship. Stay committed to your life. Stay committed to your hobbies. The worst thing we do when we meet someone that we're crazy about is we drop everything else and we want to spend every single moment with this person, right? And when you do that, you break attraction. Like when you make one person be responsible for your happiness and you don't take control of your life and you're not responsible for your own happiness, we put a lot of pressure on that relationship and it doesn't work. Okay. So the fifth shift is to transform your love life with a supportive community and mentor. Guys, this is so important because the people who we associate and play with, right, play an important role in our success. So if you're with people who help you to blame your exes, or who sort of badmouth men or women, you hang out with singles, that's what you're going to get more of, right? And you've proved that trying to figure this out on your own, it simply hasn't worked until now. And it also isn't going to start working, especially when we're in this pandemic, right? And people are social distancing, right? It's not going to just improve by itself. And you need to become part of a community that's showing you daily that there's proof that there is this new reality of possibilities. Like, my clients are meeting people online, and we're sort of going through this process that we've perfected where we only meet someone offline when we feel safe, right? But you also need to be kept accountable, because changing the way we do things has its ups and downs. It's never a smooth road. And we don't want you to go look for help or assistance from all the wrong places, right? And what you want to do is learn from your experiences rather than your failures. Okay. We heal relationship issues through relationships. So we need a community. We need a mentor. We need to practice being vulnerable, being authentic in a safe place where there's absolutely no judgment. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible to do that in a relationship. Okay. So the only way to really transform the way we do love and relationships is to follow a step-by-step system, right? In a loving community with personalized mentoring. Okay. So what does a good mentor take? And I'm not saying like you need to sign up with me as a mentor to find healthy, lasting love, but really, like, this person needs to be in the type of relationship that they want to help you navigate into. That's super, super important. Number two is, do they get their clients' results? And when I talk about results, you don't want to become a dating expert, right? Like, dating is part of what they need to teach you, but you're going to step into healthy, lasting love. So make sure that you know what it is that they're going to teach you. And then also, do they provide you with a step-by-step strategy, something that's been proven to work, and like they've perfected it time and time again? And also, you need to connect with this mentor, right? How much love and support do they offer you? How much, like, I've seen coaches that shame people into action, and that's just not going to work when you're working with your love life and your emotions. And also make sure that this person really cares about you and the people that they work with, and that they work in an uplifting and a positive way. A lot of coaches just put you in a program, and then you need to sort of do your own thing. You need support, you need accountability to change these patterns. So the bottom line is this, right? The future of those who find love, it belongs to women and men who exude their physiology, right? Who are true to their authentic selves, who have the courage to be vulnerable. They've let go of the outcome so that they can get there faster, and they belong to a supportive and loving community. And if you don't know how to do these things, you need to make sure that you work with someone who can help you. Okay? So I want to go back to my question, right? Is it still possible to find love in a socially distant world? Because the way we're doing dating in the past, it's changed, right? It's coming to a complete halt. And if you want to succeed in love, you are going to have to do things differently. So the time to do that is right now. And what I have for you are some amazing free gifts, okay? So hold on a second. You have a choice, right? You can either continue to keep doing things the same, you can forget about everything I've just told you and nothing changes, or you can create the type of relationship with an amazing partner who loves you passionately and wants to be with you, a healthy, lasting relationship. So I have two gifts today. The one is for women, okay? And it's called Unlock Lasting Love Without Relying on Online Dating. And it's a free 5-day workshop. It's valued at $500. It's 5 days of amazing breakthrough and transformation. And I'm going to teach you how to step into healthy, lasting love without you having to go on one more online date, because I know we've all pretty much had enough of it. So the link to that is at the bottom of this video. Make sure you register. The next class is at the end of October. It's the last week in October. Make sure you register ASAP. Okay. And then for men, I have an amazing gift for you too. A breakthrough to love call with my colleague, Veronica. She is a psychotherapist and a love coach, and she is a 45-minute call where she's going to help you gain clarity on why are you single, exactly what needs to change, right? And it's going to be the best 45 minutes you've ever spent on your love life, guaranteed. So the link to that is at the bottom of this email. And if you're wondering, is this for me? If you're successful in every other area of your life except love, then yes, this is for me, right? If you're committed to solving your love life problem right now, you want to click that link at the bottom as soon as possible. If you're the type of person that takes ownership of your current situation and you have a desire to be your best self, then this is for you, right? And if you're coachable and willing to change the way that you do things, click on that link. Veronica and I really look forward to meeting you. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for being with me here today. And I hope to meet you soon. Take care. Bye.